Hey, I want you to think of something nasty. I want you to think about something real nasty. You know, put it in your head and think about it. Something real nasty. Remember, I'm a teacher, not a speaker. And when I said I want you to think about something real nasty, I want you to think about a nasty slug. That's right, I want you to think about that nasty slug. We've seen them before sliding down the sidewalk or in our yard, and they leave that nasty trail of goo and mucus. That just looks disgusting. But when we think about that slug, before we just write it off as something just disgusting and not understanding its purpose, I actually want you to look to that slug for inspiration. I want you to look to that slug for motivation and encouragement. Why? Because that slug is able to persevere through some things. That slug faces obstacles all of the time, but it keeps moving. There's a slug known as a leopard slug, and that slug does just a few things in its life. It eats, it sleeps, it defecates, it reproduces, and it eats some more. Very simple life. That's all that it does. It spends most of its life just eating. Scientists and researchers have studied slugs because they can become a nuisance for farmers or people who have gardens because they will devour the crop. Now, when it comes to that slug, once again, all they do is eat, sleep, defecate, and repeat. That slug has gone through some trials. That slug has been battle scarred and proven and tested. When it comes to that slugs, researchers have even tested the scent of amphibians that prey upon them. We're talking about predators that would just love to eat that slug. And researchers have reproduced their odor and put it around that slug. And guess what? It just kept eating. The amount of food that it consumed didn't even change. They even crushed up other slugs. So slugs are seeing the crushed bodies of their comrades around their food. And what do? They just keep eating. Slugs have been exposed to long periods of darkness, long periods and exposure to light, which normally causes a lot of stress on nocturnal animals. But what does that slug keep doing? It keeps eating. I've even read where CIA agents use light, a constant flow of light, as a means of torture to get information out of people. I'm just saying, constant light has its effect, but it doesn't have effect on slugs. So it doesn't matter what obstacle that slug faces, it's gonna eat, sleep, and repeat. Eat, sleep, defecate, and repeat, right? But they will still continue to go on their journey. They're still gonna thrive. They're gonna go beyond survive. Once again, they're gonna thrive. So we need to go to that slug for that encouragement and that motivation. So I did ask us to think about something nasty. Think about that big, fat, nasty slug leaving a trail of mucus down our sidewalk. And I no longer want us to look at it in disgust. I want us to look at that slug with inspiration, with admiration. I want us to be encouraged by that slug, because no matter what we face, the scent of our predators on our trail, looking at our fallen and crushed comrades around us, being exposed to light and other harsh conditions, it continues to get what it needs. It continues to not only survive, but to thrive. So whenever we get down in the dumps, I want you to think, WWASD, what would a slug do? Now remember, I'm a teacher, not a speaker, and I want you to have an amazing day.